Hello and welcome back to the Heroes by the Pint podcast. This is part 2 of the Ant-Man and Wasp review. We are the Glassy-Eyed Geeks and we invite you to grab something cold in a bottle or can and crack it open and enjoy it with us.
Oh, on my face.
Went everywhere.
I got hit with that one too.
Sorry. I think I got you. You got some on your mic.
Sorry.
There's literally like a bead of beer on your microphone.
Delicious.
Teardrop.
I'm your host, Matthew Ellis. Joining me is Ryan Brown.
Yo, yo.
And Chelsea Caslow.
Hey, hey.
All right. Before we get started on our news of the week, I would like to urge each and every one of you to head over to heroesbythepint.com. Over there you will find a backlog of all of our social media feeds as well. Over there you will find a backlog of all of our old episodes as well as links over to all of our social media sites and anywhere you like to stream your podcast. Scroll to the bottom of that page, click on that microphone banner, and hit us with a little bit of beer fund money. It goes a long way to supporting this podcast, and as always, keep it 5-star. Before we jump into news of the week, Chelsea Caslow is going to hit you with a little bit of the beer formation.
We are drinking a beer by Belching Beaver. It's the Deftones Phantom Bride India Pale Ale, coming in at a strong 7.1%. Named after the, we said, ethereal song by the one and only Deftones, Phantom Bride IPA is a blend of Amarillo, Citra, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops, delicately balanced for the perfectly drinkable mix of citrus and hoppy goodness. A truly Deftones Belching Beaver collaboration envisioned by Chino Marino and skillfully crafted by Thomas Peters. Sit back, put on your headphones, and drink away. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Cheers.
Before we hit you with our bottle cap grades on this Belching Beaver Deftones collaboration beer, we're going to kick it back over to Sarah Flora. She is our beer correspondent. This is going to be the last segment she joins us for. You can follow her at Flora_Brewing at Instagram. She is always putting in work on some home brews. We drank her Tangerine Road Rash as well as her, what was it?
Grapefruit of Wrath.
Grapefruit of Wrath.
IPA.
And they crushed.
They crushed. Patio pounders all day.
Yeah, that's right. So Sarah really has it going on. So Sarah, hit us with your bottle cap grades and a little bit of knowledge on this Belgian Beaver beer. All right, we are joined once again by Sarah Flora. You can follow her at Flora_Brewing on Instagram. And what are we drinking during part 2?
You are drinking one of my favorite California IPAs. It's from Belching Beaver Brewing, and it's a collaboration with Deftones. It's called Phantom Bride, and it is, like, in my opinion, a perfect IPA. It's not too dry. It's not overly hopped, which we can get with the West Coast style. It's totally drinkable, and you will love it.
All right, we are so excited to jump into this. And we are so excited to jump into Ant-Man and Wasp Part 2. You want to come back and do a beer correspondent in the future, Sarah?
I would love to.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a lot of fun with you over the last 30 days. We really enjoyed your homebrew. Really are looking forward to trying the Belching Beaver, and we are ecstatic that you loved all the beer we sent out to you. So all I have to say is cheers.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, we are back. Sarah, thank you so much. It has been incredible having you as our beer correspondent over the last 30 days. We hope that you enjoyed the beer we sent you, and we have really enjoyed the beer you have sent us. If I'm hitting this with a bottle cap grade, holy moly.
Holy moly, this is good.
Sarah, do you want to do another beer correspondent? Because we
You're
got
sending us some good stuff.
Yeah, we got some more beer coming your way. This Belching Beaver.
Delish.
Yeah, I'm all 5s here lately, man. I'm hitting it with a 5. This is good.
I'm hitting with a 5 too. It's very crisp.
Beautiful color.
It is very crisp, for sure.
Crisp? Clean?
Yeah, it's good, man. 4.5 is where I'm at with it. Yeah, I mean, I got to get into it a little bit. Drink it.
Woo.
Drink a couple of them.
It's those Mosaic hops.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe it's because I already have my headphones on, but it tastes good.
It's really good.
It's really good. Belching Beaver.
Could be because we drank that Flora beer, so it seems extra good.
Yeah, it's just like more betterness.
Yeah.
On top of more
We're like
betterness.
ready to roll.
That's right.
Yeah. It was like she prepped us appropriately for this.
Yeah, at this point I'm ready to get shot out of the can.
I do love the Sugar Skull Beaver Skull.
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
freaking cool.
yeah. The can art is incredible.
Yeah, very cool.
And hit up Belching Beaver anywhere on your social media feeds. I know we follow them over on Instagram.
They're out of Oceanside, California.
That's right.
Wow.
And we're going to be hitting them
Cali
up.
beer.
Yeah.
That's right. We've been crushing
Like
it
it.
here lately.
That's right.
Make sure you check out our next beer correspondent, and if you have any interest in being a beer correspondent, please head over to heroesbythepint.com. Over there you can email us, and we will get everything squared away with getting you some beer sent and getting some beer sent our way, and it's really fun. I don't think anyone who's
It's so fun.
anyone who's been a beer correspondent, and I mean we're not complaining.
We're not complaining at all.
Yeah, everyone has so much fun doing it. So if you have any interest, again, in being a beer correspondent, please head over to heroesbythepint.com or message us anywhere on social media because we respond quickly and are all about sharing some beautiful Ohio beer with any beer that you have to ship us.
Shoot us a note on Instagram.
That's right. That's right.
Slide into our DMs.
Yeah, that's right. Now, jumping into news of the week, what do you got for us, Ryan?
News of the week. Let's talk about it. We got to jump back into Ant-Man. I'm trying to think. What do we talk about?
Well, news of the week, we just had like monumental RIP, buddy.
Oh yeah, I know. Steve Ditko, man. It's
Yeah.
terrible news about him. I mean, he was 90 years old.
So it's not that
sad.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's
R.I.P.
time for you to go.
All right.
It's time. We have an overpopulation problem.
I told Ellis, man. I told Ellis it was.
Way to take a tragic event, Chelsea, and turn it in. She sounds like a Bond villain.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I'm cynical.
No, I mean,
honestly,
I think I opened it up with being like, it's not that sad. He was 90. But
Yeah, but
I think I said that.
I think I just have a cynical view on. My mom always goes, "People die." It's like in old school when it's like, "You're my boy, Blue," and then who was it? Vince Vaughn. He's
it's
like,
like,
"That's what old people do."
They die. Co-creator of Spider-Man,
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange,
He did
Hawk
it.
and Dove, The Question, which honestly, The Question is like, I don't know, what tier do you put that dude on? Because like, what is the lowest tier there is? But The Question is an awesome character and a little bit of like knowledge for people. I imagine anybody who's listening does know. Rorschach is based off of The Question.
Yeah.
Like, The Question was supposed to be like Rorschach, but Alan Moore didn't get the rights because at the time those characters, I can't remember how it all shook out, but those characters weren't actually DC characters.
He went. Steve Ditko went. He went to DC for a little while.
Yeah.
Like he was writing for DC for a little bit.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I could see that where they
raise them up.
Yeah, for sure.
Raise them up.
Yeah.
Pour one out for my homies.
It is really sad. It's a sad thing, but honestly, a sad story. I was telling Ellis about it. It's like, man, the guy was kind of like a hermit. Like he never did interviews.
It's not surprising.
Like he had this like kind of like bad relationship with Stan Lee for the early times, and I think they made amends a little bit, and I think they were cool at the very end. But like, everybody was Marvel Stan Lee. That's how they looked at it. But I think
Unfortunately, we just got like kickback email. Said sender invalid. We were trying to get Steve on.
yeah, right.
Didn't work.
Yeah, we were about to have it.
Crazy.
Got kicked back.
Return to sender.
That's right. Message fail. This message will try to be
Oh
sent.
man, that's so sad.
That was such a bad joke.
Better than yours. Come on.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
what it was.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah, no,
R.I.P.
honestly,
For real.
so much respect.
So
Yeah.
much.
Because
If it wasn't for those type of creators, we wouldn't be where we're at
No.
right now. I mean,
Exactly.
we're on
Absolutely
a
not.
podcast talking about Ant-Man right now, so
yeah,
it's props to him.
Yeah,
for,
I would
for
say-
creating characters that we love and still talk about to this day.
Yeah, it's incredible. And yes, absolutely, R.I.P. We raised him up once. Let's hit it again, man.
It's a legacy.
This is a dude's life.
It's a dude's life, and it's a legacy.
And we're just making jokes and being
That's kind of what we do.
our terrible selves.
Yeah, right.
Our
We're
terrible,
sorry,
terrible
R.I.P.
selves.
We'll miss you.
Yeah. Honestly,
But you were also kind of old.
really old. But so much respect. That dude was a creative genius.
Yeah.
Creative genius.
I mean,
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I guess that's what he did for like the latter part of his life. Like he just sat in his apartment and just drew and he wrote, and like a lot of people didn't know what he was doing. Like really, like it was kind of a sad story. It really
Nice
was.
sad.
It really is.
I got to go back to holy hell. This belching beer is so
Delicious.
good.
Smooth.
It's like a lemonade.
Yeah, it is like a lemonade. Ryan's about
Give me
quarter done.
Give me
Yeah,
some
I
ice
mean-
cubes in there.
Give me some ice.
Yeah.
You need the straw.
Jumping right back in to our weekly topic, we're talking Ant-Man and Wasp. I think we left off right around the time where they discovered...
Well, hey, listen. We left off like right about like where I was talking to you guys about like the comedic role of like these characters.
Yes,
like,
and
where
that's a
they-
good
where
subject.
And where they have like grown from. Where did it start from? I guess Guardians. I would say
Guardians
Guardians
probably.
kind of brought the comedic
Element.
to Marvel, and it is just like it is stuck hardcore. And how do you guys feel about it? Are you guys all about it? Because for me, I am all about it. Like I've never went into these movies and been like I don't need a lot of comedy for these.
The thing that's interesting is that characters like Thor can still be like a total badass,
That's
but
right,
be
that's right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think they do a good job with characters like, like the Hulk. He's not very funny. Like he remains pretty deadpan.
Right.
But like Hulk and Tony. I mean, as Hulk is like kind
Not
of
very many
figured out.
punchlines coming from that guy.
That man is sad. Bruce Banner is in a different. He talks actively about how he's tried to kill himself multiple times and just can't.
Yeah,
it's very
I think,
depressing.
I think,
Black Widow's not very funny.
shit, man, Black Widow is...
She's
smoking hot.
yeah, she is. Comic books and in live action, like...
But she's not funny. She's all business.
Yeah, but that's what I love about her. If you read any Black Widow comics, it is like gut-wrenching because she has like such a terrible past and like but she is also like which is odd at one point her and this is something that I truly dislike about what Marvel does with Black Widow, like kind of in their in the books and in the comics, is it's very much like over sexualized. Like she always has a love interest in everything, and she doesn't need that.
No.
And like at one point she's dating Matt Murdock, and I'm like, dude, like,
No.
Matt Murdock is like, you don't kill, and Black Widow's like, oh well, I just kill.
I kill.
She's like,
Literally
I'm an
anyone that
assassin,
comes
right?
in front of me.
right. Like each and every person, like I kill. But yeah, Ryan, to your point, I kind of agree. I feel like Guardians 1 is really where you see just this all out, like, okay, the humor is landing and people are enjoying this, so let's like, but also Ant-Man.
I think it started with Spider-Man.
Homecoming?
No. Like OG, like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
Okay, the best.
Wrong, but that
Right.
is indeed the
You have
movies
to
I'm referencing.
No, but you have to admit.
He's not the... No, I won't.
Just admit this.
No.
Without Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man,
No.
you're not living in this world today.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
No way.
Without Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you don't have Batman Begins.
That's what
You don't
started
have the
it.
Marvel
Dude.
Universe. You don't have the Marvel Universe without those movies.
His Spider-Man was just so...
I'm just saying.
Mediocre.
But those were the biggest grossing movies
I know.
of their time.
They
And
really turned people on to the idea of the superhero movie.
And if you think if those movies came out today, and if you're talking about box office numbers, a movie back then was $8.
Yeah, right.
A movie,
Right.
so like the number that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's made would blow
Yeah, dude,
out of the water.
I owe you like $30 for me and the producer going to see Ant-Man and Wasp.
I'm just saying,
It just
like,
ain't the same.
I'm just like Tobey Maguire's like
Yeah, if they didn't happen, if Batman Begins, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire didn't happen, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
I agree with that, but I'm not saying...
If those bombed, we would be somewhere else. I don't know
what
where.
Yeah.
I mean, we would reboot them probably, but
I really feel like, as we're saying, like, Guardians, like, Ant-Man came out before that, and Ant-Man 1 has a ton of comedy.
Did it? Did Ant-Man come
so.
out? Did it come out before Guardians?
Yes.
Anyway, they've turned this table of like.
Anyway,
but honestly, this action has like they have good action, but they also have awesome comedy. Like
I feel like
and it has been like a thrill to go to. Like I love it. Like I'm not sitting here dogging it. I'm not sitting here like saying like I like this is too much comedy.
And then as
comedy.
DC tries to rip it off,
yes.
it fails miserably.
Oh, God,
with Justice League.
Terrible.
Yes, yeah,
the worst.
But like
we've discussed on this podcast before. It's like they didn't need to do that. Like
no.
they had their own entity with this like dark
And
multiverse.
they
Had this awesome like universe that. It was dark. Maybe not a lot of people didn't like it, but I think that was mostly like fan Marvel people. You know, I loved it. I really did.
I did
like,
too. I
enjoyed the Justice League,
that.
but Jason Momoa's in it. He goes, oh, jeez.
We did like Gal
Just get out of here.
Okay, so it's like it's like.
Dude, Wonder Woman came on screen, and I saw it with the producer, and he's like, I don't even have to say it. And I was like, yeah, whatever, she's super hot. But then Jason Momoa like comes out of the water, and I was completely silent. We left, and he's like, they took the lamest freaking superhero.
Wait a minute,
this dude that wears orange and green and does nothing, and they made him hot.
Let me call you out on something.
Do it.
One moment, you're talking about you want some skinny, frail heroine as a hunk.
We got Paul Rudd and we got Jason Momoa.
Have you heard that song by Paramore, The Only Exception? That's Jason Momoa.
Okay, I feel like these beers
you're either
are
a Viking with a beard and tattoos, or you're a skinny, pathetic.
You're in between your screws.
There's no middle ground.
If you almost have a bicep, now get out of here.
You either need to be a full-blown Viking, or
you heard it here: full-blown Viking or skinny and pathetic. Not sure where the producer falls.
I don't know.
Okay. I feel like we have veered pretty far off track, and Belching Beaver's beers along with Floyd's beers are definitely working. So we're at the point in the movie right now where Ghost captures Wasp, Ant-Man, and Hank Pym.
Yeah.
And then you have the weakest reveal ever that, oh my God, the dude who didn't need to be in the movie, Lawrence Fishburne, Bill Foster, he was in on it the whole time.
The whole time.
And it was
of course he was.
Was that not the weakest reveal ever?
It was not good.
I honestly though, I didn't see it coming. Like I really didn't. Like I really didn't see it coming. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, oh, what? Oh,
honestly, maybe
Morpheus?
I didn't either.
Really?
Brian's like,
Morpheus?
Maybe I didn't either, but I really.
But it was like when it happened, it was like one of those things. You're like, oh, okay, that does make sense.
Right. It wasn't. As Deadpool would say,
that's just poor writing.
That's just lazy writing.
Yeah, that's right.
I was thinking something else.
That's just lazy writing.
That's cool. I got you.
So right out of that point, you kind of get the most out of Ghost that you ever get.
Yeah.
Right then,
she's the most vulnerable at that point.
Bill Foster kind of explains, like, Lawrence Fishburne's character explains what's kind of transpired, and Hank Pym is the bad guy. He forced I can't remember the scientist's name or whoever Ghost Father was out of
yeah. It was like the mother and father, and then they tried to do the exact same thing. This whole quantum thing.
And they're doing these rogue experiments, and
right.
And that's what that's what happened in order for Ghost to become
What she is.
the individual she is today. And again, it just not a lot of depth
No.
with Ghost. I thought the actress herself did incredible.
Yeah, she was great.
Like, she was awesome. And back to the point we were just talking about Black Widow, I don't think they over-sexualized any of the female characters. If anything,
No.
they were super empowered.
Yeah, if anything, they were. I mean, physically, like as far as I always look at like the super suit. You know, their suits were extremely conservative,
Yeah. Wasp
And-
looked
buttoned up.
badass.
But and even Luis was like, "Dude, your suit is so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had a suit, and even if it did nothing, I wish I had a suit like that." And
She
then
looked gnarly, beautiful, and sexy. Covered
but like,
head to
but
toe.
also like covered to her throat.
Yeah.
And I think that and we talked about this briefly on the phone. What was really cool is when you look at Ant-Man and Wasp in combination, you know, Ant-Man is dependent upon Antonio Banderas and like all these
Ulysses Ant Grant.
Ulysses and Grant in order to fly. And he even calls attention to the fact that he's like, "You gave her wings? Like, is that a new technology?" And her dad's like, "No,
And blasters.
I've had that."
And blasters.
She has blasters and wings because that's my daughter. And she's like exponentially more badass than he is.
Yeah.
Without any effort whatsoever. And she shows that in that first like showdown in the restaurant where she's
Right.
she's just all over the place, killing it. And I think she's consistently empowered, and Ghost is consistently empowered, and her suit is similar. She's not like this super sexy
Villainous like, yeah.
character. You know, she's not like a Poison Ivy character. She's very like buttoned up, very down to business, very assassin style, like empowered woman. It's really
Right.
cool.
I love jumping back to when they first sit down with Bill Foster, and he's talking about how he was in works with Hank Pym for the gigantic program. What was it called? He's like, "What's the biggest you ever got?" And he's like, 24 feet.
He's like, it's like
60.
He's like, I don't want to talk.
Right, 65.
Right.
And they're like
He's
going
like, I
back
took
and
a nap
forth.
for 3 days.
And Hope Van Dyne is like, "If you guys are done comparing sizes."
That's right.
yeah,
like,
that was cute.
That got such a great laugh. So the Bill Foster reveal, you give a little bit of background into Ghost, and from there, of course, you know, superhero movies, comic movies, they escape.
Right. How did they escape? Oh, it's because of the Altoids.
Yeah,
The
Hank
Altoid chase.
Yeah.
He needs his hot pills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard pills. That's right.
Hank Pym's like, you know, playing it
He's
up.
doing one of the, what was it, the Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley, where he's like,
Ditka?
yeah.
So they escape from there, and at this point,
I don't remember.
they
what happened
regain
to
the
that.
lab, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, they regain the lab. They have all the
Oh
technology.
yeah, that's
back.
when like Michelle Pfeiffer comes back as Paul Rudd
Yes.
because he had that dream, and then the dream was almost like
That was
it was
so
like
awkward.
it was like an antenna. And then I remember looking at Ellis, I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
And he's like holding all that.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't exactly how
But it was
everything.
it was very feminine. Like it was cracking me up. Like he would like walk over
I just
and
did
like
it
he
with
would
Chelsea.
he'd like have that. Yeah, that's right. He would like have that hair.
Ryan can't even
That's
look
right.
at you.
Like,
Look how
I
red
can't
he
do it.
He's
no way.
so red.
I cannot do that.
Oh, the
He's
way
so
the way
uncomfortable.
Paul Rudd nailed it. He's just like, "Hank, if it's not these, I gotta chime in right here. I have the exact coordinates. I've been down here for so long." They realize they're
And
communicating.
he's like,
That's
literally
right.
like, "Baby, I love you." And he's holding her hand, and it's
But it's-
all Paul
but it's
Rudd.
all Paul Rudd.
The whole time. And then she looks at Hope, and what did they call her? What was her nickname? It's not Peanut. It's another food.
Was it peanut?
Jelly bean.
Jelly
Jelly
bean.
bean.
Yeah,
I'm like
jelly
cotton
bean.
candy.
Yeah, cotton bean.
I was like Eminem.
He's like, "Oh, jelly bean," and she's like, "Mom."
Oh, and Paul Rudd just like nailed that part.
Yeah, he did.
Totally.
So as they're running
And that's
through
why it's in
that,
my top 5.
and as it comes to an end, he snaps out of it and he's holding Hank Pym's hand.
He's like,
And
I got nothing.
He's like, I got nothing. And then he like pulls up Hank Pym's hand. He's like just looking, because before that moment, Hank Pym and him have just been like on absolute outs.
Yes.
And right after that, they realize like they have a line to get back Hope's mother. And right around this time, Luis is freaking out about their new upstart business.
Ex-con.
Ex-con.
That's
For
right.
ex-cons.
And they're trying to bring Scott Lang the blueprints so he can go over them and make the corrections. So he gives Luis the directions to where they're located, which is out in like the middle of the forest.
Which is a huge mistake.
Yes, which is a huge mistake. And then you get into classic Luis when Sonny Birch shows up, and this is like when the truth serum breaks out, and then
This may be like one
It's
of
my favorite
ones.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you see Luis in prison with a Jerry curl. Episode over.
And he's
That's
like, yo,
right.
do we just become best friends? We did.
Like, can that dude just narrate everything?
Yeah.
Everything.
Ryan, what's the actor's name? Please,
Oh,
please.
I gotta look it up.
I was just telling you to stay off your phone, but I need you to get on your phone because can that dude
He's
just
so funny.
can he narrate my life?
And he literally is it's so frantic. The way
Oh yeah.
Because he's on a truth serum that obviously is making, it's like truth serum and adrenaline apparently. And he's
Pena?
Michael
Pena.
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 Michael Pena.
That's right.
Pena.
Oh, dude, like he is one of the shining lights in Ant-Man 1.
Oh, he's
Dude,
hilarious.
like he is so good, and
If you cut him out of the movie, it would be nothing.
I love in Ant-Man 1 when Paul Rudd first introduces him to Hank Pym and Hope,
Yeah.
and they're getting ready to work with like that little crew that he's got going on, and he's like talking, he's like, yeah, man, we can do it. I'm just sorry, like, man, your girlfriend's really hot, and it's like making me nervous. like,
The
dude,
honesty's unreal.
the way he delivers everything. And what did you guys say the very first scene he was in? Both of you.
I said he looked like Marty.
Yes,
You're like, dude, that's Marty.
Yeah, you're like, that's Marcus. And I was
It
like,
is
yeah, that's
Marcus.
Marcus, man.
Everything he said, I was like, that's Marcus. And I said it to the producer, I said it to you.
It was like uncanny.
I said it
really
to
was.
Ellis, and then he was
He
like,
popped his head out of the
he's like,
window.
dude,
and it
Ryan
was
just
like,
said that.
Right.
So, of course, Marcus wasn't there. So
He like he poked his head out the window and it's like, hey man, go Cowboys. Like, yeah, that's Marcus, man.
we're like, dude, that's Marcus. Right
So
there.
right after the True Serum, Luis gives up the location, and from there you have
Because
Sonny.
of the true serum. He wouldn't have otherwise.
He wouldn't have otherwise.
That's right.
He's a good dude.
No, actually, he gives it up because a ghost walks in.
And he's on the true serum.
Yeah, but mostly ghost. She was terrible.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So right from that moment, Sonny Birch then calls the FBI,
Yeah, right.
Yes.
and
And it's like, I think I have a lead.
right, because he has somebody working inside on the FBI, and Scott Lang is like, look, I have to get back home.
Yeah, because he's on the house.
Because I'm under house arrest. They're going to come to my house. I'm not going to be there.
Right, like they've seen me.
There's
I've
an ant
been
in my
out.
bathtub.
Right, so he has to leave, and right at this point, the Pyms, Hope Van Dyne, Hank Pym, they get taken in. They're like, Scott Lang gets back home in time
Right.
to negate
In the nick of time.
in the nick of
His
time.
daughter
His
buys
daughter's
him
lying.
time.
for
She
him.
like opens the bathroom door and there's a big ant taking a bath with an ankle bracelet on, and she's like, okay, and she's like, my dad is really sick, throwing up everywhere. Don't come up here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne. They get arrested by the FBI as they reduce the lab. And then
It's a
there's
suitcase size.
there's the fight for the lab. They're in custody. Scott
She-
Lang.
Yeah,
Scott
like,
Lang's
yeah,
daughter gives him like the speech.
Yeah, the motivation
Right.
to go save him.
Essentially, like, if you go back to prison for doing the right thing, I love you.
Right.
That was the speech.
Like, essentially, she's like, look, like,
That was dope.
Your friends need you.
And she's like, what, 7?
Yeah.
It'd be like Bennett. She's like, look, you're helping your friends. You're doing everything right.
You're a hero.
You're a hero. You're Ant-Man.
Right.
And if you have to go back, that's fine. Even if it's for my entire life.
Right. That's moving.
It was so moving. And then she's like, also, I want to be your partner. And he's like, no.
And
then-
also, you're the world's greatest grandma.
Yes! Yes! I was just getting ready to pull that one. She's like,
Yeah.
I expect it from you. You're the world's greatest grandma.
She even said that. You're the world's greatest grandma.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, she crushed. So at that point, Scott Lang delivers the Wasps.
Sounds like a wasp.
How many S's are in the
Yeah,
end?
wasp. Plural.
Wasp.
Wasp is like, it's plural no matter. It's wasp.
Belching beavers.
Deftones.
He delivers the Wasp suit
Yeah,
and the FBI suit
that's right.
for
They-
Hank.
They bust out.
They bust out, and then from there, they're trying to reattain the lab, as well as, at this point, the quantum reactors inside the lab.
Yeah.
So from there, they're on a mission to regain the lab.
And that goes into like the whole.
Where are we at from there? Where are we at?
That's like the chase scene. So like
There
they're
it
all
Oh, yeah,
down the road. And,
Because I think because Ghost crushes the crooked FBI agent, and she has it.
Yes.
oh,
Yeah, she
She
has
just
it.
murders that dude.
Yeah, which was cool.
That was cool. That was a very shining moment.
Because it was just kind of like...
And then she like
she's kind of
pulls
like
out the
she's kind of like a good guy, like too, like
yeah,
she's-
and then
I have a
she
huge theory that I'm waiting to drop at the end.
Oh, the
she pulls the handle out on that lab like a nerdy kid in school that doesn't want to wear his backpack because the weight's too much and just walks off.
So, once Ant-Man, Wasp, Hank Pym get out... I'm a little lost. Where are we at right there?
I think that goes into like the chase scene. So that's like where they shrink, and then they got the Pez. He's like, "You want some Pez?" You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they're driving, and then
Oh, no, that is great because they break out, and I think Scott Lang's like, no, I got us a getaway car.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like Luis is like driving.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right. It's like the horn that honks like. Yeah, that's right. No, it's like
I'm a little-
it's something like crazy.
I'm a little lost. How
Something
did
like those crazy horns. I don't know.
how did they track down Ghost at that point? Right
I think Ghost tracks them down.
Ghost does track them down.
Yeah, remember she shows up like while they're like fighting off the guy like after they're fighting the Rodney guy. Like he's chasing after to get the lab because they have it now, and I think that's what happened. And then the Ghost like kind of shows up.
No,
Yeah.
Ghost had the lab at that point because Ghost left the FBI.
Is she?
Yeah, she left the FBI
I
scene
can't remember.
when Hank Pym and Hope were getting arrested, and she had.
Oh, that's right. Because he put it in the trunk, and then she killed that dude, and then
Yes.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so she has it.
Damn, I can't remember. Maybe she just needs that quantum thing.
No, I know at one point she needed the remote. Really, I need help here.
Oh yeah, the remote. I forgot about the remote.
The chase
Let's
scene.
talk about the chase scene though.
The chase scene
dope.
was so great because this is like where you truly saw like some of the beauty of like what makes Ant-Man so great.
powerful. Yeah,
Like
seriously.
the reducing of the cars and like driving underneath like the
That's
vehicles.
my favorite.
And like,
They did a really really good job with that.
what were they doing, Ryan? They were turning the locker,
Yeah, the lock.
the locker knob.
The locking mechanism.
I did not say mechanism. That's too much.
The locker
Yeah,
That's a
twister.
lock twister. That's what it was.
Lock
Lock
twister.
twister.
The lock twister. I can't believe Ryan even
They turned the
got
lock twister.
the
Yeah.
mechanism out a
90
second ago.
degrees.
Yeah, I was like mechanism. That didn't sound like me.
That doesn't sound at all right.
So from this point, like I'm trying to lead up to the showdown of. I remember Luis realizes that he has the remote,
Yeah, dude.
and they can't reactivate.
We've only seen this once. People.
Yeah, that's the hard thing is we saw it one time. It was Thursday. Today's Sunday.
And we're not drinking it hoof-hearted.
We're
That's
having
right.
just it's hard.
It's not Deadpool.
It's not Deadpool. Deadpool, you can tell a
Thank
dick joke
God.
and walk
Yeah,
away
that's
from
Yeah.
and be good with.
Everybody's feelings aren't hurt, you know.
Right.
You're not sponsored.
That's like a family movie. Like that's the thing is, I feel like this is legit a family movie.
Family movie.
You could take the kids.
Like everything visually from that scene was so cool. Like just from Wasp, like shrinking down and fighting, and you see Ant-Man on that like tow truck,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh,
almost like
yeah.
a scooter, and like
It is.
Like,
yeah,
that
that was
was
funny.
so
That was so
cool,
funny when
man.
he's like on it, like he's huge and he's
Yeah,
just
they
riding
show-
his
yeah,
tow truck
he's
like a
like-
scooter, taking corners like a freaking boss.
Oh, dude,
That's right.
and it was great too because like right at this point, the FBI starts realizing they're like, oh my god, that's Ant-Man.
right.
Like,
And they're like, also he's
Scott
under
Lang.
house arrest.
yeah, Scott Lang's doing it again. So you have his FBI agent, parole officer, coming back to his house, like, we're gonna get him. You know,
Right,
He's
so they're
always
like,
there playing drums.
right. So, so they're so hyped to like track him down.
It's so funny.
And at this point, Hank Pym is in the quantum realm trying to track down
Hope or Janet.
Janet.
Yeah.
And they have this small window as to when they need to reactivate the lab. Here's something that I was thinking about. This is also going to like go over your guys' head because you're so young. Do you
Wow.
think one of the stones from the Infinity Stones was the stone from Romancing the Stone?
Oh God.
I mean, you're talking Michael Douglas.
Oh, jeez.
You're talking. I'm just saying. I mean, is there a possibility that Danny DeVito somehow ties
The
in?
answer's no, dude.
Michael Douglas good though.
No.
Romancing the Stone is the best.
Ryan.
I like the way your head's at.
No.
I like where it's at. I'm digging it.
The answer is absolutely not.
I was thinking that. I was
Danny
like,
DeVito. I'm like, oh.
God dang it.
Danny
Hold
DeVito,
on,
man,
let me.
that's like the- that's-
What if they would have pulled instead of Michelle Pfeiffer out of the quantum realm? What if it would have been Kathleen Turner, and it was
Oh,
Romancing the
God.
Stone, and she was like, "Hey boys."
How you doing, baby?
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
Latest Lapetus.
So right at this point, they have this small window, and this goes back to
Ryan.
this goes back to what you guys were saying earlier. Is all of the villains and antagonists didn't really seem like all that villainous. They just seemed like road bumps in the way of them, like
Yeah, I think that's
on
what
the
it is.
pursuit
Yeah.
of their major goal.
Absolutely.
Because like at this point, you have the lab changing hands.
Right.
And there's like this window of like, oh my god, like,
Like it's
you
gotta
know,
be the
Hank
full size.
Hank
and to
Pym's
get
not
back.
going to get
Right.
out because he has
Right.
this like small window to find Janet. So they're like fighting for that, and you see Scott Lang go like full hero and go like 100 feet tall, which is great because he's like
Literally.
he's like
so tired.
dude, when he's swimming
He's so
through the ocean and he's kicking his feet up and it looks like the whale. It's so
That's so
great.
funny.
I like when he's tiny and he like falls into the water and is like, boop. Like, he's just like yeah, it was good, man.
It was
awesome.
awesome.
Okay. Maybe I'll raise my. I don't know if I gave it a full bottle cap.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I think
Yeah, I don't
in
think you
hindsight,
did. I don't
it's
think you gave
way
it a bottle
funnier
cap.
than you realize, and it's
It
was-
is no. I
it
mean,
was
it's a
funny.
very, very happy, very enjoyable movie.
It's not a
it's kid friendly, it's
It's
family friendly.
it's not a pre-order must for me. Like Infinity War pre-order when I
But-
walked.
Yeah, I tell you what. Like I have
Pre-order when I
Ant-
walked
I
out.
have Ant-Man 1. Do I need Ant-Man 2?
yeah.
Like, do you? Do you have to have Ant-Man 2?
You should.
I do, but I need it when it's like
Dude, okay.
$10.
Yeah.
But
No,
here's
I
the
agree.
thing, like all of these, honestly, mostly Marvel movies, my kids are always so hyped about these characters, Bennett in particular, and I really can't take him to see these movies because
Right.
they're too intense. Like they're
Well, yeah, it's a PG-13 rating, so it's like
Exactly.
you never know what you're going to get into.
exactly, and with like Infinity War is a good example. It's like, dude, I
Yeah.
want my kid to see
Right.
Spider-Man getting
oh my god,
annihilated.
still a
Like,
tearjerker.
Yeah.
right.
Don't
But-
bring it up.
But I legitimately appreciate
Remember we
the
talking
fact-
about at the end credits? Like, not again.
Oh yeah, that's actually what I want to get into.
Yeah, let's just
So-
get there. So everybody happy ending.
Yeah, happy ending. We're
Right.
clearly lost.
Yeah.
Belching Beaver once
Yeah.
again.
Thanks.
Flora
But
underscore brewing.
Janet comes back and like we're
Yeah,
you
so
know,
they get Janet out, and she says to Hank essentially like
she heals Ghost.
She has
Yeah,
special
yes.
powers now.
she's like, you don't understand
She's
like
evolved.
what I've developed
Mhm.
down here, what I've
She's
evolved
evolved.
into.
She's really
Yeah.
evolved. Yeah.
And she takes Ghost because at one moment Ghost is in the lab and she's sucking the life out of Janet Van Dyne as they're coming back across through the quantum realm.
That's right. Yeah.
She gets stopped. Janet saves her, and you just kind of see this like like Janet has like a certain set of powers, and Ghost as well as Bill Foster, they kind of like disappear into it. They're like getting away, and Ghost is telling Bill Foster like, get away from me, I'm a terrible person, I've done terrible things in order to survive. And happy ending, all is saved, Janet's home, Hope has her mother, the FBI once again raids
Yeah.
Scott Lang's house, and he's there. He like kind of has this little like
moment with the FBI, like he's like the giant Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
yeah.
like he's hiding, but he's really not. He's running in his
running
underwear.
around in his underwear,
That's right.
and then he asks the FBI.
They do a
to
really
mount
good
the
job. They
generator.
do a really good job with it. They do. Like
Yeah.
It was
I
great.
laughed. I mean,
it was
honestly,
great.
It was
Well,
It was
also
funny.
the FBI agents. We were talking about it earlier. Like his delivery, that
He's
actor
so
is
funny.
Yeah, it's like-
incredible, and he's like,
he's
"What
the
do-
most intimidating
When he asks
parole
out to
officer
dinner,
ever.
he's like, "Do you want to go to dinner?"
I mean, did he want to go to dinner?
I know we haven't even talked about like him and like the whole like magic trick thing.
So
That was
closing,
hilarious.
I know.
Like
So-
online magic.
so
Right.
closing credits, the famous Marvel closing scenes. Where are your thoughts at? So they send Ant-Man,
right.
It's
Which-
the quantum realm.
Yeah.
which I was wondering, why did it have to be?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
I don't know. I thought that too. I was like,
Like, I'm the
he
one
could've
with the
said
daughter.
anybody.
Like,
he's
come
got
on.
a kid, and
Right. Like, he's like trying to get his life right.
Right.
He's like, I've
I
already
thought
given
that too.
everything up for you, but he's jumping back
he's like,
into
whatever,
the
I'll
quantum
go.
realm.
It's cool.
He's
Well,
essentially
maybe
like,
it was because like he had done it before, so maybe
Yeah, I
that's
mean-
why.
I don't like that analogy.
it's not the best.
Hey, I'm trying here.
So he
It
goes
felt
back.
wrong.
He goes back into the quantum realm to gather life-saving
Amoebas.
particles.
Is that why he was there?
Yeah, it was to save.
I didn't even know
Ghost.
why he was there.
Nucleus.
Like it was there to save Ghost.
Just
So
say science words like mitochondria.
mitochondria,
Nucleus.
quantum, space
Quantum
time,
nucleus.
space time continuum, molecules, and at this point, this is actually like so great. So he's there, and then he's like, "Okay, I got him. Pull me out," and it's just like
Dead air.
dead air,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Hey,
What's
Hank, that's
going on?
enough."
Yeah,
And
what's
it's
going on?
like,
Hey,
and
guys.
it's classic like Scott Lang, like
Right.
Paul Rudd delivery, and he's like, "Yeah, that's enough," because he's like, the jokester.
Yeah,
Real,
they're
real
so
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, real funny. Right.
And
Hello.
then you flash back to the Earth realm,
Mhm.
and Thanos got him.
Yeah, that's right.
It's everybody's
That was.
dust.
They
The
were.
whole
They were
family.
half. They were the other half.
They're dusty.
Of course, Ant-Man wasn't. Though.
In the
Literally,
quantum realm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
literally, someone in the theater was like, "Come on!" They were like,
That was so funny.
That was good.
and I
They were
like.
no, come on.
It reminded me of Marty when Groot died in Infinity War,
Right.
and Marty was like, "Not again, no."
I leaned over to Ryan and I was like, dude, just when you think Thanos got everybody,
That's right.
there's more to come. So here is my spoiler, here is my thought. Ghost sacrifices herself to get Ant-Man out of the quantum realm.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, that
She's
sounds
the
great.
only one who can cross over.
That sounds
She's
great
not
to
cool
me.
enough or strong enough. She's just not. It's not gonna happen.
That sounds
You're
good to
gonna
me.
dog out like another one of your like.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine with
yeah,
me.
bro.
Ghost,
right here, I'm
Ghost-
holding my ground. It's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying,
you
like,
you get Paul Rudd out of there. Hey,
Paul Rudd can
Get
get
out.
himself out of there.
No, he can't. He's stuck
He's
right
stuck in
now.
there. I was thinking it was going to be the ant to come like pull the lever. Because all it is,
No.
like, to get in there, it's just a lever.
Antonio?
No, I'm thinking that Ghost has to go into the quantum realm and somehow pull him out.
I just don't see
I'm
Ghost
down with that though. Like,
doing
go ahead.
good like that.
I do,
I do.
because
I
at the
think so.
end when she's talking
Because
to
Michelle Pfeiffer saved her.
yeah,
Truth.
and
Like,
when
what's her point? Like,
And
what's
she
her,
did look moved. She looked like struck.
and when
by
she's
that.
talking to Bill Foster, she's like, "Leave me, I've done terrible things," and he was like, "You're still capable of good."
The foreshadowing is there. I'm not going to deny that, but I'm just saying I don't think that she's a developed enough character to
Typical
be
woman hates other women.
to do the right thing and help them out.
She's gonna do it.
Chelsea's like, I would do it, but I don't think Ghost would do it.
Ghost.
Well, obviously, I'd do anything to get Paul Rudd
That's
over
right.
Quantum Realm.
I'm right there with you, girl. I'll be like, hey, Paul Rudd.
Hey,
Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
baby.
come get out of here.
Hey, baby.
Ryan's like, hey, I know it's not who you want to hear from, but
I'm here to say.
I'm here for you.
But it was a good movie. Where you at? Where you at? You never gave it a bottle cap.
I never did give it a bottle cap.
Where you at?
Did you even hit it with a bottle
Yeah,
cap?
she did.
I think I had it with like a 4.5.
Yeah.
I think
I was like 4.
I'm probably like
3.5.
3.5. I still
3.5. Wow, I feel super.
puberty much.
I feel super vivid right now. That's
I would
my
probably,
voice cracked.
I would probably give Ant-Man 1 a 4.
Whatever, get out of here. Go upstairs in your own house.
I gotta leave now. Apparently, I gotta leave now. Yeah, I would give it a 3.5. I liked it.
Dude, it was so funny.
It was funny.
And it was so we laughed. I heard you laughing so hard. Don't
the
forget.
the antagonists were underdeveloped.
The ant part where the ant was in the bathroom.
Ellis
you
laughed
so hard.
Ellis laughed that hard at Pride and Prejudice. So like,
That's his number 2. That and the Wind and the Lion is like.
That's right.
Oh man, I got like a quick outro. So at one point, like they're showing Paul Rudd while he's under house arrest and like scrutiny, 3 years of house arrest, and it's like showing his like day-to-day activity.
Right.
He's like playing the electronic drums and anything and everything. At one point, like Hank Pym calls him out for spending 2 hours a day in the bathroom, and at one point they show him reading The Fault in Our Stars, and he's just like bawling. And hold on, wait for it. Chelsea leans over to our producer Kayla, and she's like, "It's so sad."
It is so sad.
It reminds me of a joke I told to my friend back in
I'm
the
glad
day.
you overheard that.
Oh yeah, it was.
like I hear everything.
It was a back in the day. My buddy was talking about a walk to remember,
Oh,
and I was like
sad.
making fun of him to no end.
Mandy
He's like,
Moore.
it's about a chick who has cancer, you a-hole. And I was like, oh, sounds pretty sad.
yeah.
Like a Walk to Remember the Notebook and a
Yeah.
Fault in Our Stars. Just forget it.
Forget
You'll
it.
sob like a baby.
All
also,
right.
Ant-Man 2, you'll cry.
Ant-Man 2, you'll cry. Not as much as Deadpool 2.
No, so much sadder.
All right. So we are cashing out of part 2 of our Ant-Man and Wasp review. Before we do that, we are checking in on our Independent Minute comic poll. We're going to be kicking it over to Chelsea right now. She's going to be talking about Serial from Source Point Media. And this segment is actually sponsored by Short Fuse Media Group. So you picked Serial up.
I picked Serial up because I love... Oh, I hate saying this out loud.
Weak
I'm gonna
guys.
No, I love serial
Paul Rudd.
killers. It just sounds really, really...
Serial
No,
killers?
I mean,
That's what you said?
No, it sounds like I'm a crazy person every time I say I love serial killers, but I'm...
That's
I
not
guess
the only thing that makes you sound crazy.
I know. It's not that I enjoy...
You do a
it's not that I
podcast, two guys.
endorse... I want to be clear that I don't endorse the serial killing, but I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
But she's telling her son Bennett, she's like, if you're going to hide the body,
Yeah.
Get a barrel of acid.
Get a freezer.
think it out,
Yeah.
Right.
plan
If you're
ahead.
gonna be a criminal, be a good criminal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I picked up Serial. It's pretty incredible.
Which was released on Source Point Media,
Yes.
which Boxmasters was also released on. So go
Correct.
back and listen to our interview with Garrett Gunn, part 1 and part 2. We had such a blast talking with Garrett and Source Point.
He seemed like a good dude, man.
Yeah.
They do some incredible stuff. Source
Yeah.
Point has some great stuff.
It's an intense comic. I mean, it dives into the mental inner workings of John Wayne Gacy, which, if you're not familiar with him, he's a super creepy serial killer who,
could Marvel turn it into a bunch of jokes?
Yeah.
most likely. I mean, if you're not familiar with him, he actually did outings where he would attend like children's parties as a clown.
That's so freaky.
Exactly right. I hate clowns. They freak me
That's
out.
so scary.
It's
It's already so scary.
99.92% because of John Wayne Gacy. No, so he was active in his church community. He performed as a clown often at children's parties. He also murdered people.
What was his
for
clown
fun.
name?
Ugh.
Wasn't it like
It.
Flippo or something?
Yeah. Flippo.
I'm
Mr.
probably
Lanky or
completely
something.
wrong, but it was something cute and creepy. The cover of the comic, I wish I had brought it with me. It's a bloody handprint signed John Wayne Gacy. It's very creepy, but Lara from Secret Identity turned me onto the comic. They found it at Comic-Con. They bought literally every single one.
Yeah.
Decided that, and I've been trying to convince them, again without sounding like a horrible person, to have a murder section in the comic store. I'm not making a good case for myself.
No, you don't. It's sounding worse.
I'm just digging my own grave.
You'd be surprised. I bet you there's people out there like, hey, quit talking, man. Like, I want to hear this. Like,
Right,
have
right.
like, good ones.
Serial killers and just murderers in general they're fascinating.
I mean, there's
so,
whole channels.
yes, that's why Marcus the other
devoted
day
to
was
that.
like, "Did you watch The Staircase?"
No, true
Because I
crime.
thought of you.
True crime is like a big seller.
Yeah,
It
people are
is.
like
definitely.
people
It
are
is.
fascinated, but then also you have like your armchair detectives who are like, trying to
I'll figure this out. Yeah.
analyze these individuals and these like crime scenes and trying to get to the bottom of it. Like I love, disappearance mystery.
Yeah.
I think it really like. I think what's so like appealing about it is like the mystery aspect of it and like what makes these individuals. But what are you bottle cap grading Serial?
I'm not gonna lie. With Serial, I bottle cap graded around like 3.5, only because I think at times the dialogue is really juvenile.
Okay.
John Wayne Gacy portrays himself in this kind of clownish, like silly light, and at times it came off too childish.
Okay.
But I think the overall story is pretty good. The concept is great.
That sounds creepy.
It's creepy.
I'm
It's
like, I gotta leave, guys.
yeah.
I'm used to like Ant-Man and Batman, so I can't take this.
It's definitely intense.
That's when we need heroes in
I
our real
felt
life.
Right.
creepy reading it, which says a lot because I enjoy that sort of creepy stuff.
All I gotta know is, did you bag and board it? Like, did you put it away?
Yes.
Oh god, that's so scary.
She doesn't even treat her comics all that great.
Dude, that's okay. So
Did
you're
you roll
getting
it
that.
up like a magazine?
First of all,
Like-
you're hearing that secondhand, and second of all, my comics are all back and boarded, and they're in a box, and my kids can't touch them. So I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right.
I believe you.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. All right.
If you're like Ellis and I, we're like barely touching.
I don't
the
lick
cover,
my
like-
fingers when I touch the pages. That's
Well, I have to. Like, you have to get a grip, Chelsea. You have to get a grip.
I blow the one bit.
I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate to admit this, I'm a spine bender.
Oh god, you're one of those like rappers, like where they wrap the whole cover around.
Oh.
like-
No, I'm not like that, but
Oh,
I'm like,
that's
I
so
want
bad.
it, if I set it on a table, I want it to sit flat.
Dude, I have
Not
like
me.
some mini
Alright.
graphics, like Creature of the Night, which is like a 4-issue like Batman run that I've been pulling. Which number 4, who knows when the hell it's going to come out? But like, it's thick, so like you're going to break the spine if you open it up. I've been reading this thing like I can barely
So
even.
delicate.
I can barely even see
He's
like what the words
He's
are.
like peeking in there.
He's like, this is gonna be a 9.4.
Is it there? Is it there?
When I have this graded.
All
Trust
right.
me, I have no idea what 9.4 looks like because I thought for sure
It
I
looks
had.
like that green
I
arrow.
thought I had.
right there.
I thought I had 9.0. Like I thought I had like a good one. It came
And
back
they're like
7. What was it?
4.2.
Yeah, I'm like
7.5, yeah.
Good to know.
All right, we are jumping out of our Ant-Man and Wasp review. This is part 2. We hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, thank you so much to Flora_brewing, Sarah Flora. She sent us some incredible home brews, which was the Tangerine Road Rash and the
Belching Beaver.
The grapefruit of wrath.
Grapefruit of Wrath, and
The Belching
The
Beaver,
Belching Beaver.
Phantom Bride, Deftones India Pale Ale.
which is all of them are so crushable.
We love it all.
Yeah, we've had so much fun with this episode. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors, which is Shirts on Tap. They sponsor the Beer Correspondent segment. Secret Identity, they sponsor the Weekly Comic Pool, as well as Short Fuse Media Group, who sponsors the Indie Minute. We hope all of you will be around to check us out next Monday, as we have an episode coming out with Ed Brisson. He is a Marvel exclusive artist. He's written such comics as Iron Fist, as well as Old Man Logan, and a number of others. After that, we'll have an episode coming out with Colin Bunn. We are super excited about the next couple of weeks, and we have a tremendous announcement to make in the next, what should you guys say, 6 weeks?
We've been hinting at it.
Think 6 weeks we'll have our stuff together?
Probably 4. Let's go with 4.
Let's go 4?
Let's just shoot for 4.
Okay, we'll shoot for 4. We'll shoot for 4. All right, before we check out this episode, we'd like to urge each and every one of you to head over to heroesbythepint.com. Over there, you will find a backlog of all of our old episodes, as well as links over to all of our social media websites and links over to anywhere you like to stream your podcast. Scroll to the bottom of that page, click on that microphone banner, and hit us with a little bit of beer fund money. It goes a long way to supporting this podcast. We also would like to announce in the next 4 weeks, we're going to have our Patreon site launching. We'll have t-shirts, pint glasses, beer koozies, and a number of other things over there for supporters, as well as unedited episodes that you will not get anywhere else as long as you are a subscriber. All right, this is the Heroes by the Pint podcast. We are the Glassy Eyed Geeks, and we are out.
We really don't owe Flora anything. We give her LeBron. Oh, sorry.
True.
Are we still recording?
Yes.
Sorry, my fault.
I gotta get up there and see if that fucking stopped when my phone died.
Oh no.
I don't think so.
What?